Hello and welcome back to one of our mini training sessions on Workbooks CRM aimed at existing Workbooks users or indeed anyone seriously looking at Workbooks as a new CRM system. And in this one, we're going to cover how you can easily bulk upload new leads into CRM and more importantly, concentrate on the sales follow-up activities afterwards. So we all know how valuable exhibitions and in-person events can be for generating new business contacts, but making the most of those leads can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. And some of these events typically will take your company, your organization, a lot of investment in time and money. So it's important to get the most out of it. So today in this event, we're going to be showing you a straightforward process for uploading your exhibition leads into Workbooks CRM and how to efficiently then manage the bulk follow-up phone calls or activities to help you turn those contacts into real sales opportunities. So this session will include a live demo of a typical process that you might go through. Hello then, my name is Tim Wilmot, joined by my colleague Stuart Lawrenson-Hind, and our company, Wizard Systems. We're a leading independent CRM solutions provider of systems like Workbooks, and we help out companies, organizations use simple solutions to improve their sales, marketing, and customer service productivity. So thanks for joining us today, those of you on here live for this mini session, one of our regular series of short presentations focusing on different topics in and around Workbooks. And so in this one, we're going to cover that process of getting those leads in and then working on them. Now, the audio part of the call is one way only. Your microphone is on mute, as you might have gathered when you joined the event. If you've got a question, please pop that into the question box on your meeting control panel, and Stuart and I will do our best to answer those at the end. Okay, let me pass over to my colleague, Stuart, then.
Thank you, Tim. So, as mentioned, we've been given a list of people that attended an event that we were at, and the sales manager has split them up and given some of these contacts for me to call. You can see that there is 11 of them. Now, I could copy and paste these into a new sales lead record and deal with them as I work through the list, but there has to be an easier way. Well, this is Workbooks, so of course there is. But there are two nice simple steps that we could use to get us moving in the right direction. Let's start by importing these records as new sales leads. And to do this, I would go to Start and then Import. This will bring me to this page here. Workbooks now has 45 import processes you can use to import data from a wide selection of data. Gone are the days when you could only import contacts. Now, I'm importing leads, tucked down the bottom here, sales leads. So I would click this and I would just follow the wizard through the step. It would start by importing that spreadsheet. I would convert it to a CSV, and then I would import it. I'll upload it into Workbooks and then follow the wizard to create these new records into my system. So let's move that one out of the way. So here are the leads, all in my system and ready to go. So the next stage is, again, I've got to call them. So I could go into Adam and select activity and create an activity. But I don't want to do that for all 11. I'll be here quite a while. So again, is there a quick way of doing this? Well, these are my leads, all assigned to me. So if I just go to bulk action and tell it to create a task for me, and I'm going to phone them, I can now give the information that I want, which is give it something simple, new call. These are all due by, let's say, tomorrow. I'm not going to pick a time at this stage, just want them in my system. Now, these are all mine. So I know they're going to be assigned to me, but if I was given the full list, I could assign these phone calls to a group of my users for fellow workers. So just based on a queue, but I know that these are mine, so I'm going to keep these to myself. I could also put some notes into this task so that I know that these contacts came from the event that we were at. It's an initial call, maybe about a particular product. So again, I've got this extra information I can add to the system. But all I need to do is tell it to create a task. It will make sure, are you sure you want to make 11 tasks? So I say yes. Now this will be queued into the system, and depending what else you've got running, you may have to wait a few seconds up to a few minutes for the process to complete. I'm going to see if I can bump this along by going into a record here and saving, and see if that will give me 2 tasks. Not quite yet. But the idea is that, but against all of my records now, I will have I will have a new task, I'll have a new activity that's been done in one go for me. I haven't had to go into each lead one at a time and schedule this call and complete this call. So, but once I'm in the record, I can click on the task, update it as I go. Oh, right on cue. There's my 11 scheduled tasks all made for me, all ready to go out tomorrow. Once they're tasks, I just deal them in the same way. So I would know to complete the task and create any follow-ups that might be needed. I then return to the list and work my way through this list, completing and updating as I go. And really, that's it. Import a list of records and create a task against all of them to save time. And that's it. I'll hand things back to Tim.
Thanks very much, Stuart. So really simple way of think about whenever you've got a bunch of leads to work on with your CRM system, think about what's going to happen. It's very easy to import those records into workbooks. We have covered the import process on many 101 sessions before, but think about what's going to happen to those leads and the kind of sales activities. We don't want them sort of gathering dust in the leads part of workbooks or some dark corner of workbooks. We want to be able to work proactively on those. So it might be, in our example, a phone call, could be an email, could be a combination of tasks. So think about what those activities are going to be. Also, it's a good idea, good practice to make sure that you've got the lead source in your import file, your source file, so that of course then you can carry out some analytics in workbooks at a later time, later date to see what kind of ROI you got, how many leads you got, how many conversions you got from that particular lead source. And maybe also think about, particularly if you're going to an exhibition, think about some way of ranking or rating those leads as well. Again, that can be imported into workbooks, and think about whenever you're importing information to workbooks, make sure that you have given some thought about the mapping of the Excel columns to fields in workbooks. What entity are they going to go into? As I say, we have covered this quite a few times on previous 101s. Right, well, let's dive into questions then. Before we do that, just a reminder about Wizard Systems and who we are. We're a long-standing provider of CRM solutions. We've been doing this a long time, and we do provide, as regards workbooks, we're a one-stop shop for anything that you want out of the workbook solution: the implementation, provisioning the product, customizing it to your requirements, the training. The training can be your place, our place online, and all the ongoing technical help desk support as well. Right, questions then, Stuart. First question from Ruth. Can I do a round robin type allocation of follow-ups to a team of 3 people?
I'd say at the moment that's not possible. Now, as I alluded to, you can assign them to a group of users and say the day that you want to do it, and even the time you want to do it, but it wouldn't assign 3 calls to one, 4 to another, 4 to another. At the moment, it's just assign these to a group of users to make their calls.
Yes, I guess you're leveraging the queue feature of workbooks, and as one of those 3 people would grab a call, they assign it to themselves. So there's some kind of ownership there I mean, it's a nice flexible way of doing it, because maybe out of the 3 people, one of them has got a bit more spare time than the other 2, for example. So out of that bunch of leads, that person could grab more than the other 2. So it could work quite well for you. Right. Second question from Dylan. How do I ensure that duplicate leads are not created when importing my exhibition contacts from Excel into Workbooks CRM?
There is a duplicate check in place, and it looks at the standard field when you create a record. So it's looking at the email address, the company name, and the contact. So if you've got a list like I had on a CSV and you import them, the import process in Workbooks is brilliant and doesn't just import the records straight away. It imports them and tells you the import's done, and then will flag at any duplicates that it's found and ask, what do you want to do with these? And normally it's obviously, if it's an additional user, an additional person, it'll create the person but won't create the company. So yes, there's a great duplicate check within the import process.
Yeah, and maybe it's a bit of knowledge about the data that's already in Workbooks, and the leads that you're importing. Maybe at that stage, oh, they're likely to be duplicate records, or no, these are all brand new, fresh leads. Then they're not likely to be in the CRM database. So that could alert you. Then obviously, as Stuart's saying, the duplicate, the dedupe feature within the import process itself. And then if however the leads are in your Workbook system, there's the manage duplicates feature that we've covered on other 101 sessions to whip out those duplicate records. Khaleesi is asking, can I automate the assignment of follow-up calls to different salespeople based on criteria such as region or product interest?
Gonna have to be a no for a change. Yeah, it would not out of the box. No, that would need a script that you could run on the task creation that would look at users' parameters or groups that the user was in to assign the call, but not within Workbooks itself, not without help.
Yeah, I suppose you could manually do it if you had that. Going back to the example of the Excel spreadsheet, maybe splitting up that Excel spreadsheet into separate sections based on that region or that product interest. So possibly you could do it there. But if it's going to be a regular thing that you're doing, you're regularly getting leads from this source, you're regularly going to that kind of event, then maybe it's worthwhile consulting with us so we can set up a little bit of automation for you. I think that's the best way forwards there. Right, Stuart, I don't think there's any more questions, so thanks to the 3 of you for those. Right, latest news as of May 2025. We are currently on version 7.4. We've got a 2-hour admin workshop, short, sharp online workshop for admin users next week. Contact us for details on that. And if you're a Workbooks user, please contact us for more details on up and coming topics that you'd like us to cover. There's a late question that's just come in from Lynette. Currently our process exhibition is very manual. Filling in a contact form. Do you know of a digital electronic way to capture contact information that works well with Workbooks?
Oh, that sounds perfect for the web to lead. So again, something that we covered a while ago. You would make a nice capture form that you could download and put onto a tablet or a laptop at a stand with just the basic information: name, company, email address, interest, and the person just fills in their own details, pushes submit. The submit sends that information into Workbooks on your behalf automatically and creates the lead and would assign it based on a process, and the source, as Tim mentioned, sets the source as the event or the exhibition that you're at, does it all automatically for you, and it resets itself instantly. It's great, and you can have 3 or 4 people all with tablets capturing data, and all the information is flying straight into your workbooks.
Yeah, you could get that sort of information in rapidly that way, or you could hook up a business card scanner, or you might be scanning attendees' badges, possibly, as another way of speeding up the process. Right. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question there, Lynette. Right. Well, let me bring things to a close then. Thanks very much, those of you on here live. Let us know if there's any other Workbooks topics you'd like us to cover in these 101 sessions. We'd love to hear from you. But there's our contact details. Thanks for those of you on here live for watching this hour of your watching recording. Thanks very much indeed. And we'll catch up with you on the next Workbooks event real soon. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.